Hello everyone, Ricky here from Newsround. We are with a very special guest today, talking all about George Webster in our special children's media conference session called The Key To. And every year we've been speaking to a really high-profile presenter from the children's media industry, and this year we have the formidable, the brilliant George Webster, who is a CBeebies presenter. Thank you for talking to us all about your career so far. I'm going to start with the very first question. How are you, and how excited do you still feel coming into this studio and presenting on CBeebies?
I'm great, thank you. I absolutely love CBeebies. It's so much fun. Everyone is so lovely. They're really welcoming me into the family. It's more like a family, 'cause everyone's so close and everyone's so supportive, and it's just brilliant working at CBeebies.
Even with all these giant blobs staring at you all the time. Take me back to your first day, when you knew that you had become a CBeebies presenter. What was that like? Tell me what that feeling was like for you.
For me, it was just excitement, because I never get nervous. So
you never get nervous?
No, I never do. No, never. I never get nervous. And I was just so excited when I heard from Claire, one of the producers from CBeebies. I just squealed on the phone. I was that excited to start CBeebies. So when I had the first day, CBeebies, I was with Dodge, and I had a really fun day.
Oh, Dodge is amazing, isn't he?
He's so amazing. He's actually very mischievous. Sometimes I have to tell him to calm down a little bit.
Hi, George!
Hello, George! Thank you so much for inviting me to CBeebies house. I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, we're so glad you came. Oh, I can't wait for us to get playing.
I can't wait either, George. We're going to have so much fun together.
Yeah, come on!
OK.
You knew, I suppose, when you joined CBeebies, that there weren't many presenters who looked like you. You were going to be bringing something different and something really special. Was that really important? Was that in the back of your mind quite a lot, that you were going to be showing children and young people a different kind of presenter?
It's so important to have representation within the wider media and at CBeebies. Not just for Down syndrome, for any, for every person with all abilities.
Yeah.
It's really important to have that representation, because when I was a lot younger, really little, when I was watching TV, there was no one with a disability and Down syndrome on the TV, and so I thought, I really wanted to be on TV. I always wanted to perform, and now I want to see CBeebies. It's just a massive dream come true.
So it was the way that you grew up watching TV. You didn't see anyone that you could identify with?
No.
No one?
Didn't, no one.
Really?
Yeah.
And when you were watching children's TV as a young kid, who did you watch? Who did you aspire to be then?
So Justin Fletcher, Mr. Tumble, he really inspired me, because before I spoke with words, I used Makaton.
Yeah.
So like my favourite one was More. I think about more food, because I really love my food, and I still do now. And my sister joined in with me when a couple of years after she was born, and that was our favourite word, more.
More.
So she got more food.
And you learned that from watching Justin Fletcher then?
Yeah, watching Justin with Tumble, and so he's really inspiring. And what he does is so great. It's so important.
And you actually filmed an episode of Something Special.
Yes.
At a cafe that you used to work at in Leeds. Tell me what that was like then.
Oh, that was really, really fun. It was incredible to have Justin there as well. Justin's such a great guy. He's so lovely. He's very, very funny. It was really fun filming with him, filming somewhere that I worked with a new friend.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Hello, how can I help you today?
Oh, look, everyone! It's George. Hello, George.
Hello, Justin. Thank you so much for coming to our cafe.
Well, thank you for having us. Tell you what, we can't wait to try some of your delicious food.
Well, Justin, I was wondering if you could be our waiter for today.
What do you think, Stanley and Chloe? Should I be the waiter?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a great idea, George. Thank you.
And it's a cafe that is run by a charity to do with Down syndrome. So that is important as well, isn't it? So, yeah.
Bit of a full circle moment, I suppose, for
Yeah.
you. In the 10 years that I've been at Children's BBC, there has been such a change and such a shift about celebrating diversity
Yeah.
and difference. And it's so wonderful to see. And when I go into schools and I speak to kids, I think they notice that. Do you think children are lucky that they're in a world now where there is more acceptance, or do you think a lot more needs to be done?
They're both, I think. It's still improving, as I said earlier before. Also, I do think that should be more improvement. Because we're all different, aren't we? We're all different in our hearts, our appearances, where we're from. We're all good at different things, aren't we?
Yeah.
Things that I find hard. That doesn't mean. That just means that we need extra support.
Do you think maybe some media companies are a bit hesitant because they feel like they're going to have to spend more time, or it's going to be difficult for them? But obviously that's not the case, because you are proof, seeing you here in the CBB studio and just working. It's something that is possible. Do you want to see more media companies employing people from different backgrounds as well?
I'd love to see more media companies work with people with Down syndrome and other disabilities.
So why is it important for young children watching to be able to identify with other presenters from different backgrounds?
It's so important because the kids can watch us achieving our dreams, and that means they can achieve their dreams. They can dream big and be inspirational, and they can be themselves, and don't let anyone tell them what they can do, what they can't do.
Are there going to be some young people who maybe want to get into TV presenting, but perhaps they don't have the same communication skills, they may be dyslexic, they may have a stammer? Can they still do what you're doing?
Yes, they can. We're doing a lot of links with BSL. Where they could... and they come in and teach us BSL signs.
Brilliant.
We've done nursery rhymes with BSL. We've done stories with BSL.
Good night, Teddy.
Good night, cat.
Good night, dog.
Good night to you.
So how did a little George go about finding a way of becoming a presenter in CBBS land? Like, what did you do? Did you tell Mum, this is where I want to be, and then she helped you? Or how did you get the wheels in motion to end up where you are today? What happened?
Well, everything started because of parkrun. So we do a lot of parkruns every week, most weeks.
What's parkrun mean to you?
Parkrun is my happy place. I get to meet loads of people. I get to meet people like you, who I love. And yeah, it's fantastic.
And Sky approached Parkrun and asked me if I wanted to be in a documentary. I had 10 people, from one person from different parkruns, to be in a parkrun documentary about their parkrun experiences.
Okay.
Then MenCap saw that and thought...
And MenCap is a charity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a charity. I thought I'd be a great candidate to be one of the ambassadors. So like campaign work with them, make up TV work. I did the 1 year the Virgin London Marathon. That was really fun. Then a key worker for MenCap, Colin Neal, who was a filmmaker, was making a short film called SAM. And so that was about two lads, 16, both called Sam, and they have a friendship and then bond over a bond, and goes a lot further. And then from there got an agent, then did Bite Size. And that was really fun to do. And then from that, Claire Taylor saw me, thought I'd be a great presenter here at CBBS.
She's the boss of this place, right?
Yes.
So you must have had a passion for wanting to be an entertainer when you were younger. Was it always just wanting to be a TV presenter?
It was, well, I loved performing, and I loved to be, and so I used to love performing in front of my mum and dad, my little sister Lauren. We used to love putting on a show.
Yeah.
I loved the Lord Webber shows, like the Oliver One, Joseph, the one with Dorothy.
Yeah.
Invited me to
I
perform.
remember those. They were great, weren't they?
They're amazing, and I always wanted to perform and be on TV, and now I am. It's just an incredible journey, and I'm loving every single moment.
How do children react when they see you, and how do you feel when you meet the audience?
It's a mix of reactions. Some are really chatty, some are really shy, some get starstruck, sometimes some of them cry. It's like different reactions, and the people like that, the way to say how inspiring I am for the kids. It's important for kids to have role models, whoever we are, with our abilities. And it's incredible to see how many people love the work that I do.
Yeah.
And that is so important.
What about the responsibility? Do you feel like you have a really important job?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the ultimate as a role model of the audience, it's important for everyone to have role models. Like for kids and watching me on CBeebies and the other presenters as well, and so like for people they can look up to.
Yeah.
And they can see us do our thing, and then they can reflect on that, can't they?
So you have been in theatre.
Yeah.
You've done panto.
Yes.
CBeebies panto. You have, of course, you presented in here.
Yeah.
You did Strictly at Christmas as well.
That was amazing.
Tell us a little bit about that experience,
Oh.
and you know, how did they look after you on a big show like that?
It was just incredible. I am a massive fan of Strictly, and it's a massive dream come true. It's incredible. I love dancing on the dance floor. I loved doing the training. I loved dancing with Amy. Amy's so lovely. She's a brilliant dancer, one of the loveliest people I've ever worked with. She's incredible.
Yeah.
And I know that she's not very well at the
Yeah.
moment, and I send her lots of love and positive thoughts, and I'm being brave for her, and I really hope she gets well soon.
It must have been such an amazing feeling for you going out onto the Strictly dance floor, and so many children would have watched that and been inspired by you.
Yeah.
You know, living your dream. And one of the biggest TV shows in the country.
Yes.
Like, what's next for you, George? What else do you want to do?
I'd love to be able to do more acting, so
Okay.
I'd love to do Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
I love to do Doctor Who.
Okay. There you go. There's your
I
camera.
love
Put
yeah.
your pitch in right
I love
now.
to play Doctor Who, because Doctor Who is one of my favourite TV dramas.
Yeah.
I just love it so much.
What is it about Doctor Who you love?
It's because like it's sci-fi, action, adventure, and also a bit of horror as well. Because I'm all into that sort of thing.
George, you're also a BAFTA award winner, which is like the top accolade, you know, in this industry. Tell me what you won it for, and what was that like taking that award?
So I won it for presenter before presenting at CBeebies. It was so surreal. It was amazing. And but before I got announced as the winner, they had the montage video of all the presenters doing their work.
Right.
And they all were brilliant. So I didn't really expect it, if you know what I mean. Because they're all like brilliant presenters.
You've done so much in such a short space of time. You've written a book recently.
Yeah.
Just tell us a bit about it.
So it's called This Is Me, and it's based on the poem that Claire Taylor wrote for when I launched on CBeebies. So we were having discussions with my dad what to put in the poem. And then from that, we looked at publishers, and we had some talked with some, and which was a wonderful Scholastic. They've been so supportive, and it's been an amazing journey.
So, George, if there was one sentence that you could say to the people who make all this children's media and TV and online and everything else, what would that sentence be?
Talk to people like us with any disability, and get to know us. Don't be scared. We can give us lots of really fun, exciting opportunities.
That's brilliant. That's such a good way of looking at it. Talk to us, give us the opportunities, and just, you know...
And don't be scared.
And
Don't be scared. And get engaged.
George, I feel like I've learned an awful lot about you. It's been a pleasure chatting to you today here in the CBeebies house. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Vicky.